That's alright, cause I get things cooking. You stare, you glare, you constantly try to compare me, but you can't get near me. I'm giving more C, and on the floor B, all the girls, they adore me. Oh yes, ladies, I'm really being sincere, cause in the 69 my Humpty nose will tickle your rear. My nose is big. I'm not ashamed, big like a pickle. I'm still getting paid. I get laid by the ladies, you know I'm in charge. Both how I'm living and my nose is large. I get stupid, I shoot an arrow like Cupid. I use a word that don't mean nothing, like lucid. I sang on Do What You Like, and if you missed it, I'm the one who said just grab them in the biscuit. Also told you that I like to bite. Well yeah, I guess it's obvious I also like to write. All you had to do was give Humpty a chance, and now I'm gonna do my dance. The Humpty dance, here's your chance to do the hump. Come on. Yeah, sexy lady. Do the Humpty Come on, I'll do the Humpty Hump. Sexy baby. Everybody, come on and do the Humpty Hump. Oh, do you know what we're doing? We're doing the Humpty Hump, y'all. I'll do the Humpty Hump. Watch me do the Humpty Hump. Yeah, that's the break, y'all. Let me that bass groove right here. Yeah. Now that I told y'all a little bit about myself, let me tell you a little bit about this dance. It's real easy to do. Check it out. First I limped to the side like my legs was broken, shaking and twitching, kinda like I was smoking. Crazy, whack, funky. People say you look like MC Hammer on crack, Humpty. That's alright, cause my body's in motion. It's supposed to look like a fit or a convulsion. Anyone can play this game. This is my dance, y'all. Humpty Hump's my name. No two people will do it the same. You got it down when you appear to be in pain. Humping, funkin', jumping, gig around, shaking your rump. And when a doodle chump punk points a finger like a stunt, tell him step off. I'm doing the hump. The Humpty dance, here's your chance to do the hump. Everybody, I do the Humpty Hump. Come on and do the Humpty Hump. Sexy lady, I do the Humpty Hump. We're doing the Humpty Hump, y'all. Watch me do the Humpty Hump. I do the Humpty Hump. Check it out, black people. I do the Humpty Hump. I do the Humpty Hump. Come on, white people. I do the Humpty Hump. I do the Humpty Hump. Puerto Rican. I do the Humpty Hump. Just keep on doing the hump. Samoan. I do the Humpty Hump. I do the Humpty Hump. Yeah. Let's get stupid. I do the Humpty Hump. I do the Humpty Hump. Everybody do the Humpty Hump. Give me the music. Come on and do the Humpty Hump. Give me the music. So you know we're doing the Humpty Hump. Yeah. Gonna break it down. Yeah, sexy lady. Once again, the underground is in the house. I'd like to send a shout out to the whole world. Keep on doing the Humpty dance. And to all the ladies, peace and humpiness forever.
All right, so moving on to basketball, and the number one topic of conversation and what's going on in the NBA right now is the Warriors and the Hawks. What should they do? Now, over the weekend, both the Golden State Warriors and Atlanta Hawks clinched the top spot in their respective conferences. The Golden State Warriors clinched home court advantage in the Western Conference, and the Atlanta Hawks clinched the home court advantage in the Eastern Conference. So now with 2 weeks left to go in the season, the question is, what should both teams do? Should both teams rest their players and get ready for the playoffs? Or should they play out these last 2 weeks of the season and try to build some type of momentum as we head into the playoffs? For me personally, I like to see them play it out. I'd see them play it out. Maybe they could rest like the last game or two of the season. I don't mind that. But the rest of your players now, with 2 weeks left to go, it doesn't make any sense. They get rusty, and then they end up struggling in the first round of the playoffs. Now, my thing is, like, look, just let them play it out. And if you want to rest in the last, like, 2 games or 1 game or whatever like that, that's fine with me. Now, we talked about this a couple weeks ago about about the topic of resting players and how I don't like them resting players. I hate the fact that a lot of teams are just resting their players nowadays. It doesn't make any sense to me. We talked about Michael Jordan and how in 1998, at the age of 35, he played all 82 games in the regular season, and on top of that, he played another 23 games, all 23 games in the playoffs. So in total, he played 105 games that season at the age of 35. So if Michael Jordan could do it at the age of 35, I don't understand why. Players in their late 20s can't do it now. Why Steph Curry at 27 years old can't do it now? So that's my issue with that. But I think if I'm a Hawks fan, not even a fan, but if I'm just a Hawks player or if I'm a Warriors player, I prefer to just play it out, try to build some momentum, and see where we go from there. Because what you don't want is that you don't want to rest your players. You don't want to get too much rest, and also when the playoffs start, because of all that resting, you're rusty. You don't have your energy levels up. You don't want to go into the playoffs like it's the first game of the season, where everybody's kind of rusty and trying to get their feet up underneath them. And they might as well just play out this string of these last couple weeks. I think it's like 9 games left, 10 games left. Play it out, just see what happens. And you can't think to me. I understand you don't want people to get hurt, but at the same time, they can easily get hurt in the playoffs. So why not just play it out? At least that's what I would do. Because exactly what do you gain from resting at this point? You might as well just, if you're hot right now, just keep playing and continue to get hot. And you never know, man. Just get yourself ready to make a run. Because both teams have a legitimate chance to win a championship. Even though neither team's really favored to win it, but they both have a legitimate shot. And I think if you're going to go for it, man, go all in. And I think it starts right now. You got 2 weeks left in the season. Play it out. Build some momentum. Play it out, build some momentum, and then see where you are at the end of the season. I don't know exactly the 98 Bulls and their situation. Let's see. All right, so in 1998, the Chicago Bulls won 62-20. See, how long did it take them to clinch the top spot? It could have been a little different for the Bulls. Now that I'm looking back at it, or because the Bulls back then they had Indiana on their heels. They only finished 4 games better than Indiana that season. So it's not like the Warriors and the Hawks where they got at least a good 7 to 8 games over the next team in their conference. Let's see here. Yeah, it doesn't really. Okay, I can't really find out when exactly Chicago clinched home court in the East that season. Now, again, you can make the argument that because they only finished 4 games ahead of Indiana, could be the reason why they had to play all 82. One reason why Michael Jordan had to play all 82 games that season. But with that being said, I still think, again, if you want to rest players before the playoffs start, like I said, the last game of the season, or maybe the last 2 games of the season, then that I can understand. But for right now, on March 31st, to rest your players, the last 2 weeks of the season, just give them a whole 2 weeks off. To me, that does not make sense to me at all. To me, you got at least, you got at least play this thing out, man. At least have these guys play at least 7 out of the last 10 games or 7 out of the last 9 games, however many games they have left to go in the season. Yeah, man, I said, man, go all in. Go all in for it. I'm 100% against resting your players. And to be honest with you, man, I'm kind of excited for the playoffs. Can't wait for the playoffs to start. I think it's gonna be a very interesting postseason, only because there's a lot of surprise teams in it this year. Teams that you wouldn't really expect. Teams you wouldn't really expect to be in the playoffs. Well, not really. Take it back, because teams that you wouldn't really expect to, be in the top of their conferences, like Atlanta, like Golden State, like Memphis and stuff like that, actually have a chance to actually make a run. I mean, the fact that we can actually see a Memphis versus Atlanta NBA Finals is amazing to me. I never thought in my lifetime, that could even be possible. That we can actually have Golden State versus Atlanta in the NBA Finals. I never thought in my lifetime I actually even see that. And the fact that it could be a possibility, man, just blows my mind. And even the last 2 months of the season, man, it'll be interesting to see who gets that 8th spot in each conference. Can Oklahoma City hold off New Orleans and Phoenix? Can Boston hold off Brooklyn, Indiana, and Charlotte? It's be all interesting to see. Right now in the East, Atlanta has a good almost 9 games on top of Cleveland. It's hard to believe too, man. With Derrick Rose coming back in a few weeks, it's hard to believe that a team with so many injuries that Chicago has had, that this team is actually going to be finishing the top 3 in the Eastern Conference. That right there is just crazy. So yeah, man. So in the East, man, you have Atlanta, Cleveland, Chicago, Toronto, Washington, Milwaukee, Miami, and Boston. Now Atlanta's gonna be number 1. Looks like Cleveland's gonna be number 2. Chicago still has a chance. They'll be about 2 games back. Then you got Chicago number 3, Toronto number 4, Washington number 5, Milwaukee number 6, Miami number 7, Boston number